Proxy, Table Gaming, PTG, Hyper G, and Lucky Sixes.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, everybody. We are into day 2 of Art of War
Yes.
2022.
Which is weird for us, because normally it takes about 3 months for us to get to this stage.
It is quite soon after Art of War to be reporting on round 4, isn't it? You know? Yeah, we've kind of like rushed. I wouldn't say rushed through it, but we've doubled up on the reports.
We have
just to make sure that Art of War is given the full limelight.
Yeah, we have, because as well we want to get to the tournament review as quick as possible, which should be I don't know, a couple of weeks, or maybe next week. I'm not sure. But yes, I guess from that point of view, viewers, let us know if you like 1 battle rep a week or 2 battle reps a week.
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily need to be our decision, because we're I know that some people that like just want more, which is absolutely great, because we'll do our best to give it. But at the same time, not everyone has the opportunity to watch battle reports as often. So if you are finding yourself getting behind in the battle reports and you want to see them all, then let us know as well. Are we throwing out too many battle reps if we do 2 a week?
That's it. Is it just too much content?
Too much content, exactly.
But yeah, let us know what your preferences are, guys. Literally, you're pretty good anyway, but as many comments on that as possible, because that would be really useful moving forward for us planning wise. We've got loads of games in the bank to do. We do, We've gone straight into another tournament straight after Art of War. It has, yeah. So it's just how you want the battles and stuff to come, and what other content you want as well. Exactly, but this isn't one of those videos. This is a bat rep. God damn it!
This is round 4.
Round 4, and obviously I've had a big day.
You have.
I'm on
2 big wins and 1 not so.
Yeah, not so big. But I am on table 4, which means I've been on 1, 2, 3, 4. So,
wow,
I mean, it's because Tourney Keeper doesn't allow you on the same one, on the same table. Yes. So if I get a win or a big win here, I could be on table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm telling you, I'm never having a better tournament than that. So we are riding high, very much so, with hashtag OPKOE.
Well, naturally, and it's a mirror match.
And just to prove that point even more so, on table 4, day 2, there is another KOE.
Of course.
So they're clearly OP. But it is against Rory, who's
I was going to say, or Rory has just played extremely well. You've just got the OP army.
I'd say he's jumping on the bandwagon as well, but I originally knew him as a KOE player, so I don't think I can quite put him in the same bracket as me.
He's had his little Saurian interlude. He's gone straight back to KOE.
Obviously, Rory as well. Check out the Thundercocks podcast. He's now a co-host there, so we talk about his little escapade. You can hear about his little escapade with the Saurians. He didn't take Temple Guard, so it wouldn't surprise you to say that he didn't do well. A bit of a spoiler. So
we're not going there.
Right?
No comment.
Anyway, you know the list. Survivor in this. I mean, it's interesting. Probably more appropriate to talk about it when we see Rory's list. But another KOE matchup. KOE do all right against KOE. It all comes down to their charge normally, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so. Differences, I have the Killy Lord with Sainted. He has the Killy Lord with not Sainted. It's pretty much the difference with it, really.
But still a Paladin.
So still the divine stuff. He's got a Sainted Damsel to give the Damsel leadership 9 and be general, which is very, very good. Arguably better than having a Sainted Lord.
I mean, you miss out on the fact that you've given your damsel fighting capability, which isn't really great on her. But there are double side of Sainted, isn't there? So
+2 leadership for a damsel compared to 0 extra leadership for a lord. I mean, I think Sainted is 100 points for a lord, whereas Sainted is less for a damsel.
Last time I looked, it was about 40, but I could be wrong. I think
that may change. That may have changed, and it should. But he's going shamanism instead of div as well, so that's an interesting
So no
thing.
yawn fest for this one.
No, shamanism. Interestingly, this is the third time out of 4 I've played shamanism as well.
Okay.
And I got told day 1 that shamanism was a bad matchup for Koei, so I'm taking that.
I see.
Which is interesting. I think because of Break the Spirit mainly, and then Totem with the war machines and things like that.
I'd be interested in, like, you played shamanism so many times. Was it always on masters, and did they always take the same 4 spells? Awaken, Swarm,
Ryan
Break the
was
Spirit,
yes,
and,
Ryan was. I'm not sure.
Totemic.
Oh no, it was. Ryan was, Josh was, and this is.
Yeah, so, I mean, that tends to be the case. I mean, sometimes, what's the Savage Fury? Is another one that Tony likes, I know. But it tends to be the same 4 spells out of shamanism, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's also going for a cleric bannerman folk hero as well, which I know is very popular in the KOE hood as well. So, and he's got lightning van braces as well on his folk hero for an extra spell.
Of course.
Crystal Ball, I guess, as the damsel will give him the edge on dispelling, and a bit of extra magic resistance, but nothing too different. So he's gone 3 characters, I've gone 4, basically.
Sure.
I've gone to buff up my 1 peg unit, but he has 2 peg units, so he doesn't really care so much. He's gone Knights of the Quest, which are very cool.
Okay.
He decided pegs would be his, because with the quest as they were, at least, you got to decide on a unit entry, and then get re-rolls to wound and lethal strike against them. So,
sure.
But it's
his Knights of the Quest have chosen your pegs.
He chose peg knights. If I had multiple knights, peg knights, it would be all peg knights, which is crazy, by the way. Yeah. That's crazy.
That doesn't affect your BSB, though, and your Lord.
I don't think so, because it would be a character. Yes. Yeah, okay. So, yin and yang, I guess, on that front. Got 2 Scorpions as opposed to my Trebs. And we both have the Yeoman Outriders. I suppose his core setup is, instead of 1 massive feudal knight, so I've got 14, he's got 11 and 6, and then some archers, whereas I've gone for the auto sergeants as well. So quite different.
So there's not a lot of Orison in this, then, is there?
No, there's a surprising amount, actually. The cleric,
I was looking for it.
the cleric has 1, if not 2. The
damsel
Lord has 1, and the damsel has 1, and then the damsel has +1 for sainted. So I actually start with less than him. I have 3, he has 4.
Okay, but you haven't necessarily got the same bubbles to give it out.
No, there are less bubbles here. It is just the
characters.
Damsel, I believe. Damsel and the folk hero.
Yeah, I was going to
say his
cleric,
list. Whereas mine has about 4 or 5 bubbles, so it's a bit easier from my point of view. And generally speaking, my penitent knights are out on a flank, giving a bubble to someone. So, yeah, I guess there are pros and cons of that, really.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, frontline clash and secure targets are 2 pennies. And here is the deployment at the end of it. But I'm going to tell you now, this is the most bluffy tactical deployment I've ever had. And it was really fun, actually. We went 1 for 1 the whole way.
Brilliant. All the way to the end.
All the way to the end, because there were so many matchups and things that were so important. And being KOE, you have to get your... It's all about the charge and stuff. That it was really fun. It was really fun. It was quite long. So it lasted about half hour, 40 minutes.
Was that actually tactical for the game, or was that just you and Rory going? Heads clashing.
There was so much.
You and him have had such a fun rivalry over the last few years. Ever since you nearly got drawn against each other and then didn't.
So this is
like the second time that you've been drawn against the first game of day 2.
It is, yeah.
This is the first time
third,
happened,
actually, because we played my Highborns versus his Orcs and Goblins at one of Board in Brum tournaments. So it was really cool. So we always have that like evening to give a bit of banter to each other, which is wicked. But yeah, this was so it might have been that. Absolutely might have been. But yeah, so generally speaking, I put my Trebs down, and there's another Treb right over in the other corner which you can't see.
Okay.
So and one in the forest there as well. Then I put my light lance auto sergeants down, and he was going scorpion to my trebs. I put my light lance auto sergeants. He put his yeoman. I put my yeoman. He put his six knights of the realm by the scorpion on the right side. So this was and then I put my order sergeants where my general would be, so roughly in the middle. And he put his feudal knights down. Then I put my penitent knights. He put his peg knights there. I then put my peg knights on the other side, and he put some peg knights to match it. It was really cool. It was really like that.
Yeah, sounds it.
But yeah, rather than sort of go all into detail with that, basically I've got a treb way over on the left that you can't see, a light lance auto sergeants behind the wall, pegs with my BSB, auto sergeants with my general, and they're the great weapon ones with the minister, my lord dead center, not caring. He's got hard target, so he's wounded. He's hitting me on 6s with the scorpions, and I've got a hill potentially to help me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put him there and see what happens. Yeoman there. Feudal Knights with my damsel and Trebuchet, and then Penitent Knights on the right.
So in terms of your auras and bubbles to start off with, because I'm keen on mentioning this because it is such a new concept, and
Absolutely.
Because you mentioned in your last round you suffered because you couldn't get your +1 to hit.
Yeah, because I charged both.
So in this, looking at this picture, both your ordos have got.
So the light lance auto sergeants don't have it. Right. It's only with the minister.
The minister, which you pay for. Yeah.
The auto sergeants with my general have it, which can obviously give it to the pegs. My lord has it. The single peg lord has it.
And your feudal knights have it.
My feudal knights have it for the damsel, and my penitent knights have it on the right because of the thing. So I'm pretty good. At the minute, only the light lances can't do it.
Yes, okay.
But everything else
that's
could.
not a massive
and
issue.
I have a lot of movement, especially with the lord. From his point of view, he has got Scorpion, Pegasus, feudal knights with cleric in, questing knights with damsel in, archers, yeoman, small feudal knights, scorpion, and then the pegs with his lord in on the right as we're seeing it. So against the penitent. So from his point of view, I think his lord has it.
Yeah.
I think his cleric has it, and the damsel has it. So he's pretty much set. I think the lord has it anyway. I can't remember. It might be sainted. You might mean sainted.
Sainted means he's got the effects of it himself. Whether he can give it out,
I never know because my guy does have sainted, so I never know.
Yeah.
So I think
the Lord. So new.
Yeah. I think the Lord does have it, so I think the pegs can get it on the right. So in terms of matchups for me, I don't really like the peg lord against my penitent. I'm not too bothered by the pegs versus them because it comes down to the charge. They are a bit quicker than me, but if we stand off the whole game and his lord's there, I'm happy.
Well, he's got Divine Judgment as well, hasn't he? Which obviously won't be around for very long.
Well, multiple wounds against my penitent. It's really bad.
Exactly.
I'm kind of thinking he's probably just going to leave him there. But if I can at least hold him off for a few turns so he's not in the main fight, I'd be quite happy with that. I sort of did that with the penitent with his lord. They're a very defensive unit, and I can always get a +1 Aegis on them as well. So there's that. My feudals basically went there because I didn't know. I think his pegs went down quite late, so just to protect my flank. I don't mind everything else. My pegs versus his pegs, I have a lord in, so I'm just that much bit better.
I'm better than you.
I'm just that much better. And I end up getting the first turn as well. So I'm thinking now with his lord over there. What do I do? And my thought process.
I suppose your issue is your feudal knights. Are they going to stay facing right to keep his peg lord back, or are they going to support your left flank against his right flank?
Mm-hmm. In the vanguard stage, we both had exactly the same thought: hide behind the hill so the yeoman could get as high up as possible, which was interesting. I was interested to see what he did here because his questing knights were so close to them as well, and this kind of swayed me into what I wanted to do in my first turn. rightly or wrongly.
Go aggressive.
Rightly or wrongly. And I go ultra aggressive on the left side.
I would, as soon as you said about the yeoman being in front of his questing knights, I would have predicted that.
Yeah. See, my thought process here is that his questing knights can't get past me, and we talked with Rory to make sure that even when they charge forward, they can't, because of the wheel more than anything, rather than being able to get past. My penitent on the right, just before we get onto the left side, just move forward ever so slightly so that they don't have a charge. And I want to zone, basically. So if they come forward, I do have a charge. So it's what he fancies, really.
Yeah.
I know from experience, if I charge his lord's shit.
Especially, I know that too, having only had one battle with him.
Especially and not being sainted as well. So he's only got 4 attacks rather than 5 of the charge. So I'm kind of, if you move forward, I'll charge you, and I'm pretty happy to take that. Because I'm res 4 as well, obviously, but I'm great weapons, so I've always got the strength 6 and strength 5 horses, whereas he's strength 4 across the board. So I'm like, I'm not
even more so if he gives you a flank, because he goes after feudal knights.
And obviously, thinking about it, like if he stays there, great. If we have this standoff forever, he might inch forward to give me a double 6 maybe or whatever, but I'll just keep doing that. If he abandons it, I'm going to go hell for leather down that side and pick up some easy points.
Get the score.
And on the flip side, keep my points for the penitent is the thought process. Obviously, he can do other stuff with his lord, so he might keep his lord there and move his pegs. Fair enough.
Yeah, there is that.
But I just want to see what he does there, really. And again, if he's keeping his lord out of the game, happy days, because I'm not going to give up those points easy. He's going to have to make a long charge to get in. Over back on the left side, like I said, yeomen go right up, and the feudal knights and the lord come up to be able to see the archers and everything else around the hill, basically. The pegs, the order sergeants on the very left just stay behind the things. They're not going to be useful. The order sergeants in the middle just move up so that they can get in range of magic.
I'm guessing his pegs don't have a charge on your pegs. You're like 0.1 away.
Yeah, it's whatever a double 6 is 0.1, I think.
Yeah.
So again, if he can move if he wants, but then I'll be charging.
Or even his feudal knights, I guess. Same rules apply. Are they the same movement?
Very similar, if not the same. Yeah. The pegs can see the yeomen, so are in the flank. Again, fine. If they go in, I'll counter charge with the world. Feudal knights are in the front there as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. As if I'm going aggressive, this is what I want to do. I want to put some pressure on as much as possible, really. And we'll see what can happen. I get Breath of the Lady on a 555, so he lets it off. I think that's I do 2 wounds or something like that. Whatever it was. Oh no, it goes down to. I got the 4/3 spell, 4/3 phase actually. I think anyway. I'm not sure. And it went down to double 3. No, 333. Sorry, for whatever it was. I think because I don't.
It would only go down with the number 8.
It might be that then. Whatever. Yeah, that's why I'm getting confused actually, because I know that there's another spell coming up. But basically, he lets it off. I kill a guy.
It does some damage.
It doesn't matter because I'll raise him back. He lets off Hand of Heaven, and I kill 2 knights, which is very fortunate. And I think he stops all the other spells.
Yeah, I mean it must have been the number 8 card, because I don't think you've got Hand of Heaven and 3 dice on.
You are right. You're right. It went down to 333s, which is actually fortunate because that means I keep it. But I've got 5 tokens now, which. Generally speaking, the way I play it, because I only save it for combat, I don't do the rest. That's enough for the game, pretty much.
Yeah, I like Rory's dice,
especially with face. Yeah, very good. My Treb, or one of them, comes down and hits him for 2. So
brilliant,
happy days.
So already his big unit of feudals is only just bigger than his small unit of feudals. So that's good.
I'm pretty happy there. In his turn, he backs the hell off. With his.
Would expect that.
Whole unit. He doesn't charge the human and uses it to chaff me, so it's a bit of back and forth really. He leaves a 10 with me into his questing knights, and I think it's impossible into the feudal knights. He's got champions, so whether I want to go in alone, I'm not sure. His pegs on the right, as you can see, come way over.
I've done well. They've done well to get that.
Yes. And the Lord, I think, ends up staying in the thing, in the unit as well. But
okay, there is a peg behind them.
Yeah, I think that's just moving
spatial.
Yeah,
wings.
seeing where he was. I think he was thinking about where to go really.
Sure.
And the small units of Knights of the Realm, which are not called that, the feudal knights, turn and move behind the house.
You can see some lancers sticking out.
Yeah, you can just see it if you look closely. Otherwise, he just moved back, not allowing me charges, trying to get a bit more flanky, I guess, with his pegs. Gets Break the Spirit off of me as well, just to really make sure, mainly actually for the march more than anything. I think I take 2 tests. It's just dicey, man. It's just dicey.
You can't afford to lose wounds.
Yeah, and I can't. It doesn't mean I can't go on the hill for sure. You know. He only does 3 with the yeoman, so I've still got the yeoman at the minute.
That's handy.
Even with all magic and shooting and stuff. And this is what happens. So it looks like on the right there's a peg out. I don't think it is. I don't know. That is the Lord. I'm pretty sure the Lord's still in there. I think he just couldn't fit because of the...
Well, I imagine the Lord, if it was out and behind them, he would have probably faced the penitents.
Well, it doesn't make sense because I don't have any towering presence stuff, so he wouldn't be able to see anything, is what I'm thinking. I think he just couldn't fit. I think he's still in there, if I'm honest.
Fair enough.
So I move basically everything out of line of sight of the pegs. I move my peg unit on the hill to put some pressure on his knights more than anything. I'm a little bit... I'll say it now. I sort of focus on the centre and forget about the pegs a little bit.
Sure.
So there is some obvious... If they march up, it can cause a bit of ruckus for me.
Sure.
But I think I'm leaving like an 11 with that smaller... Or the medium size now feudal knight unit. Like long charges. And I stop his questing going anywhere, really. It's more for the marching. I don't want him to... put himself in a good position really with them. So feudal knights, a big unit to move around and stuff, but I'll just get them out of line of sight. They're not in the best position, but they do at least have a charge on the archers if I can maybe do something there. The penitent knights, you can only just see actually, just behind us, I keep moving us, have moved up because there's literally
pretty free to do so.
No pressure on them whatsoever. I get another Hand of Heaven, but do nothing this time, so it shows you what Hand of Heaven can do both ways. He lets me get this off because I only technically get 1, but I'm back up to full. My Treb, you can forget about him for the rest of the game. He does nothing. And my other Treb, I don't think hits anything. He takes the charge. Like I said, I think he needs like an 11 or something quite high. Again, it's all about the charge, isn't it, really?
There's not a lot to lose by failing it, unless he comes forward 6 and fails or something like that.
Exactly.
And because his unit's so reduced, he's... forget about that sentence.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is frustrating.
It's not ideal.
I am within Horizon and everything, at least, says that. So, I'm like, okay.
So that's going to be
annoying.
Extra Aegis.
It will. Yes, very much so. Very much so. This is his other movements. He manages actually to move out of line of sight of my other unit. Not that they could wheel round anyway, but that's frustrating. So I've only got my light lances, and obviously I can't chaff them. So that's a bit dicey on that side as well.
Just before you move on, was your Lord never tempted to charge into his archers? I know that you had Break the Spirit on.
Not because of the Break the Spirit, no.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He on the right hand side, he dodges me. Obviously, the for whatever reason, the Lord is back in the unit now. He's the orange one.
Won't worry about that. Yeah.
But he's there out of line of sight of everything, so we keep flying around each other. It's a bit annoying. But we'll see what I can do
for the sake of just moving the penitents to face a bit more left, maybe.
Yes, yeah. Well, the reason actually is that, and again I'll move us out of the thing, is so that I could see the Scorpion. Yeah. Because even with dangerous terrains going through that ruins, I think that puts me in a good position. He gets Awaken the Beast up.
On strength or
can't remember. I think it's strength. I think he's going for offensive because.
So they would be strength 5 with lances, strength 6.
No,
now,
strength 6 goes to 7.
Okay, does it need to be strength 7?
AP 4, I think, is the main thing.
Right, I get you. Yeah.
So that helps on all fronts from that point of view. He shoots my remaining 2 yeomen. Fair enough.
Makes sense.
So 3 and 2 he's done. So fair play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those archers, it wasn't the game for them anyway. So if they can pick off any points, is great.
Yeah.
His Scorpion one-shots my lord. And I sort of say to I was like, Rory, with you getting that long charge and getting this, oh man, I think that's a biggie.
I can't say anything.
Yeah,
that's
just
horrible.
Just did it all. Just did all the thing. I mean, to be fair, he only needs to once he's wounded and gets past the Aegis, which is there's that.
He's hitting on a 6 or a 5 because of short range.
5. Yeah, hitting on a 5 because of hard target.
Ruins didn't help you at all.
No, nothing like that. Yeah. Hitting on a 5, wounding on a 2.
Probably.
I've got a 5 up Aegis, I think. I want to say. Perhaps a time to use the Orison, but I rolled a 1 anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. And then he rolled a 3, which goes up to clip wings.
I don't think you could have predicted to get an extra Aegis on it. I mean, like you say, it probably would have been a wasted one. But,
it happened. He was like, I can't believe you just left him out in the open. I was like, yeah, maybe, but I think he's with hard target.
That doesn't happen often, Rory.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate.
He's got 2 shots, I guess. So
yeah,
he's got to hit at some point. So there we go. So this is we both put an Orison. I obviously get it back because of faith. This is actually after combat. Crazily,
wow.
The double 6 is his fear test because I have Oriflame. Now the Oriflame was crutch here because it just it means now that I'm hitting on 3s and he's hitting on 5s. That's which massive. Is massive and just means I think he does 1 wound overall.
Yeah, when he's wounding on 2s, that is huge.
I put the thing on the Aegis, so that means I've got.
Was his Orison not to get +1 hit himself?
It was, but that took him back to a 4 up, and he just.
Sure.
That is such a big swing when you need him.
Rubber Lance still exists, boys and girls.
The hitting is hard, so. I mean, he's wounded on 2s, and he's only got 1 attack each, so he's only got like 7 attacks, 8 attacks. I think he had another one in the back rank, but he only does 1 wound through everything. I do put the Aegis, he puts the +1. I get back. I think I do 1 or 2 wounds, and he's steadfast and holds. And the fear obviously is massive in this because he's -1 to discipline as well. So, it's just mental. Really, and it gives me another turn. So, happy days.
Very much so.
We'll see how that goes. I decided to completely ignore the pegs on that side and charge in for some support.
It's an interesting move that to put his pegs there. Actually,
put his pegs there.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I would have thought he might have been concerned about the Ordos charging into them.
No, absolutely not.
No,
they've got 1 attack each with Hatred, Strength 5, AP 2.
Well, they're great weapon.
On the left is the ones in the middle can't see. On the left are light lances, so they're actually Strength 4 because it's light lances. So he just doesn't care.
I might have been. I mean, absolutely, the right move is Ordos into the flank of his feudals. I don't disagree with that at all. But I mean,
well, you think I've got 8 attacks hitting on 4s, re-rolling because of Hatred. So let's say 6 go through. Then I'm wounding on 4s. So it's 3.
I've
AP 1.
I'm sure that isn't. Yeah,
he probably doesn't lose a peg, and then he's got 15 attacks. Well,
no, you're right.
2,
you're
4,
right.
Well, loads of attacks, basically 10, 16 attacks, all
sure.
hitting me on 3s, wounding me on 3s, and I've only got 4 up armor.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So I think I bounce, and he then he charges on my turn then as well. So
yeah. I mean, either way, the flank into the feudals is the right move anyway. So.
Yes, sure. I take this charge, just hoping for minimal things. They can't panic because they're fearless, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So just to get in behind his lines, really. And I managed to reform the feudals so that I'm out of line of sight again of his pegs. So we have this back and forth thing. He can potentially see my penitent, but I'm overrunning. So, I mean, unless something crazy happens, right?
Scorpion for the win.
Yes, so you can see the wound there in the middle on my pegs. Otherwise, I move the Great Weapon Auto Sergeants way back, still within 8 inches of the pegs, crucially, but just way back.
That's his yeoman in the middle.
That's his yeoman, out of line of sight of everything, and just sitting there, just watching the world.
Yeah.
As it stands at the minute, the pegs are out of line of sight of the questing knights as well, so I don't have to do too much there. But obviously, I've got a big unit of pegs in my flank to sort out.
That is an issue.
Yeah. So that's as it stands. Yes. I get only 1 spell off, but it's Know Thy Enemy, so I'm a higher offensive, agility, and defensive against him. He's now off the charge as well, so I'm pretty happy with this. The main thing with this actually was not for this combat, but for the further combat that is inevitably going to happen when he charges his pegs in. And I get a discipline test as well in case something goes wrong. All on the pegs, because they are the main unit here.
And Guiding Light will survive if there's a counter charge by his pegs in the front.
Yeah, that's what I mean with the discipline tests as well.
Yeah.
So I kill all but his champion, which is great. I lose 2 wounds in the pegs, to be fair. I think his cleric goes mad, but then flees and is where they are. And because there's 1 unit, it means they're half leadership as well. For what it's worth, I think they failed the fear test again. It was quite brutal, to be fair.
You only pursued with the orders?
Yes, because I've got a pegs in my flank, and as much as I think I'm a better peg unit, I can't take them in the flank.
Sure, you couldn't have risked pursuing with both and guaranteeing killing the feudals.
No, it's very unlikely I get out of line of sight.
Sure,
we measured it,
Fair
so
enough.
I just can't get them in the flank. It'd be great if my pegs were way up there, and I think I think even the camera angle here looks a bit dodge. I think he can see their unit, which means that by the time I clip them and touch, whatever.
Yeah,
but he rolled like really high as well, like 12 or something. I go through, and thankfully,
so you were setting that up to be a
thankfully nothing silly happens. Oh my goodness! And I'm out the way of there. He charges the Order Sergeants first, and I flee because I'm not having any of that.
No.
He then charges with his archers.
I was going to say,
and they have to flee. And then he charges with his Question Knights to push me through the yeomen as well. So they're just
room behind,
fleeing everywhere, and we've got failed charges all over the place.
Did the yeoman charge as well?
Well, no, because the yeoman would have pushed them. I think the yeoman should have charged and pushed them that way.
Push them right into the Questing Knights.
But there you go. I don't know what that one on the left is. Anyway,
your knight dying.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is where they go to, and they 4 of them die through the yeoman. The yeoman.
Was that the first? The blue one is the first one dying.
No, because that's part of the other unit, so I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure. But yeah, this is where they end up. The pegs then redirect, pass the redirect test at least, to get in, and it's not far to get in. And this is just showing that, that the Question Knights fail, and that the other guys fail to rally the BSB.
Sure. Okay.
So,
that's a non-rerollable 4.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. One more chance. He gets in with the pegs and moves again, plays that game around. But this is like turn 3, and he's not really done anything with that big peg unit. So I'm pretty happy as it happens with that. It's just what on earth I do there with the feudal knights. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure.
I need to pass a march check basically to run out of dodge that way. The yeomen shoot and do 1.
They do 1.
There you go. It doesn't matter because I'm getting him back, so it doesn't matter. And here, so fear me, fear me. They fail a non-rerollable 7 because it's fear and all that jazz.
So what? Talk us through Oriflame then, because it's not just causes
Oriflame causes fear in combat.
Yeah.
And then also, regardless, they cannot use the BSB.
Right. Okay.
Reroll. So, I mean, that's all the time. So, just insane. It's just like it's just been absolutely mental in this game because, like, it gives me a +1 to hit, gives him a -1 to hit. It's like an extra spell on its own. Then again, this is after combat, so he does 2 wounds to me on the charge, which is mental. He does get Awaken the Beast off again. I think it's got to be it might be the toughness here because I only do 1 wound to him, so it might be the toughness. But again, with the no die enemy, means I'm actually hitting on 2, so I just whack it on the Aegis. I'm not even sure he's Orison ready. I don't think there's anything within 8 that can give him Orison.
Sure.
So he is hitting me on 5 straight up here. I'm hitting him on 2s. Oh no, 3. No, 2s because of I'm a higher offensive agility because of the spell. And I just smash him. Well, actually, I say that he's done a charge and 2 wounds to make 3. I've got a wound, and I've got a standard, a BSB, and a banneret, baby.
Right, yeah.
Which is
and because of
awesome.
Fear,
and because of fear, he's -2 overall.
Yeah, sure.
And he's on a 6 and fails and flees, and I catch him. And all my days, this unit is living a charmed life.
I know. I mean, your peg knights are just like sometimes we're going to do well.
I think
sometimes we're not.
They were feeling bad from the last battle.
They should have been, really. I mean,
they couldn't kill 10 elves.
No.
So decided to kill the whole of Rory's army.
Yeah, pretty much.
And let them charge in just to rub salt in the wound as well. It was crazy. It was a crazy thing. Oriflame, I think, was the thing, but a couple of spells here and there also helped as well. So this is after. So I catch him. Blah blah blah. On my turn, there are no charges because I've caught him and I'm over that way with the pegs. I move up this way. I put my BSB out of the unit so the Scorpion can't target me because I don't want that. And my Order Sergeants go up to contest the objective.
Okay, sure.
The Feudal Knights fail their march check.
I was going to say.
Although, do they? I'm not sure they did.
I don't think you have. I think because this is after Rory's move. Isn't it?
Sure, yeah. But I think, regardless, I think the feudals end up there as close to the thing as possible, and the damsel runs out the way. It's a fairly long charge for the question, but then they're out of the way of all my pegs on the left. My penitent are right behind the house as well, and the damsel basically legs it. So there's that. They fail their rally check and run off the board, and that's some big points. Heading my way. The feudals are dead at this point.
I like how the animations turned up halfway through the battle.
Yeah, well, it's because of our deployment thing, we were like rushing the last couple of turns. So basically, what happens is he goes to chaff my penitents, so they can't do anything else, but they will get them points. My feudals aren't there, and the archers move up to get the objective. So archers done pretty well actually in this matchup, considering. over here, again, he moves up his question knights in the last turn to face off. He's not really even that bothered me going in because his question knights, and he's done me, should we say, with the things. I think I could have. Oh, this might be the last turn actually. Otherwise, I would have got the Scorpion as well. But yes, there's that on that side, and he gets a totemic summon off that I can't. That I failed to dispel with all my dice. It was one of these, just diced me on it, and see you later, damsel.
You even tried to get her to safety.
It's like the one time ever that I didn't use her. I should have used her a chaff.
You should have done. I mean, that's the good go-to move.
But still. So, ended up... I actually won on victory points. Yeah, that's it. So the one with me on it. I actually won on victory points, all told, which was really cool. But we drew on the left-hand side of objective, and the archers won the objective. So even better for them in that point of view. So yeah.
Hang on. What did happen to your feudal knights?
The peg's gone. So let's go back.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, no, that makes sense.
The pegs charge in, kill them, and then reform. Sure. But by then everything's out.
He kind of got many attacks on his peg knights.
No, but
enough.
He's got his lord in there. Remember as well.
Sure, yeah. No, that's fine. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. I think. He ends up being in my rear as well, so it's just yucky.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a yucky situation. But yeah, lost 13-7. So fair play, Rory. He's 2-0 in me actually. One with a big win, one with a I guess objective win, we'll call it. But it was a really, really fun game, really tactical actually, and being a mirror match, it was interesting. But I mean, you can't say he's been very. I've been very lucky, I think, with my pegs holding the 2 charges. There are reasons, but I mean, it's lucky really that's happened. So, and that made me get the win on points and loss on objective. So, cool. Leaves me with. Let me remind myself. So I got.
It was 39, 11, and then you got.
So I'm on 50. Yes, I remember now. So I'm on 50 with 1 game to go. I've got my usual target. I need a draw for the last game. I considered offering the hand, so I got my 60 points.
No,
I considered it in my mind.
You didn't.
But
shame on you, lucky sixes.
Well, and you'll see why in the last thing. But I mean, we didn't in the end, and it was against Shane Baxter, who
I would have made you do a battle report.
Yeah,
for that whole one.
It would have still talked it through. It would just been like animations.
Absolutely, it would have still been a 40-minute discussion on your shaking hands on a 10.
Yeah, but yeah, so I did consider it, but I was in a good spot with the Kingdom of Equitaine, and we want to go for as much as possible. So, I'll leave that for the last game actually. But yes, so good game. Cheers, Rory. Go check out the Thundercocks podcast as well for I'm sure his take on how he's probably just swearing about how much he should have won this.
Your lord, though, so,
right, okay. But yes, really, really fun game. Rory's a great opponent, always. And we look on for the last game of the tournament from my point of view.
Amazing. Give us some comments on your thoughts on that battle, the good points and the bad. Thanks to our patrons, of course, and to everyone who subscribes and likes our videos. We really appreciate everything you do for us. And please do let us know about whether you like one battle report a week or 2, as we would be very keen.
I think once this tournament batrep things come Art of War sequence comes to play, I think we'll do a bit more with the patrons as well. So we've got a few things coming for you if you are part of it, which is amazing, guys. If you are, it honestly blows our mind. And we appreciate you muchly. So if you want to go check out, you can. You don't have to though. You can just like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about how good PTG is. That's good as well.
Or tell them to go and check out how bad we are, and maybe they'll come look for themselves and subscribe anyway. That's fine too.
however they come is good. But yeah, no, I really appreciate it, and do give us lots of comments, as you say.
Sweet.
And we look ahead to your battle.
My round 4 overnight. Yes. Would I love to think overnight about going into a gun line? Shall we wonder? Let's find out. Cool. We'll see if that one goes.
See you later.